So what I want to do now, because I greatly appreciate their support. The FSHD Society supports, you know, all of the research that I've been doing, and they also helped us a great deal as we were putting this day together. And so I want to give them a chance to share some of what they've been doing with you. And I believe we have Beth Johnston, and I believe someone else, and I apologize if I forgot your name, who's going to be presenting. Okay.
Hi, everybody. It's Beth Johnson here. Let me figure out how to share my screen quickly. Lee she's here, but she's not on camera, but she'll pipe in to say hi in a little while. All right. Is that sharing okay, Kylie? Everything okay?
Yep, looks good.
Okay.
You're not in slideshow mode, but.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
Well, hi, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Beth Johnston. I'm the Chief Community Engagement Officer here at the FSHD Society. And we are so honored to partner with everyone at KU Med Center to bring you this FSHD Family Day, albeit virtually. On a personal note, my family too is affected by FSHD. But it's so nice to see so many familiar faces and names here today, and to also see new ones that I'm not familiar with. So I would love the chance for you to introduce yourself to me at one point. And those of you that don't know us, the FSHD Society is the world's largest research-focused patient organization for FSHD. And we are partnering with all of the key stakeholders like KUMC for FSHD therapy development. To simplify, we're kind of the general contractor that's working to fill all of the potholes that are on the road to bringing effective therapies to market by the year 2025. And this is always on my mind, our Therapeutic Accelerator program is what we've created to accomplish what needs to be done. And we are very aware that the countdown clock to December 31, 2025 just continues to tick. This is on our website. It's something that Mark Stone shows us all the time. It's on his phone. He looks at it daily. And so we are very, very aware that our countdown clock keeps going. So yes, it's always on our minds. Accelerating treatment development is not a new concept, right? So Dr. Frieda Lewis Hall, who was the chief medical officer at Pfizer Pharmaceuticals, noted that there was one time in history when the therapy development for disease was drastically shortened from the typical timeline of 15 to 20 years and billions of dollars down to about 8 years. The disease was known as AIDS, and the world came together to develop therapies to conquer the global problem. There were two distinct differences that made it happen. One, there was collective intent globally, and two, the patient's voice became center stage, and the voice of the AIDS patient could not be silenced. And as Chuck mentioned a second ago, we're actually seeing the same thing happening now globally with COVID, right? Silos are coming down and everyone's working on a treatment and a vaccine, and the FDA is expediting good science to do so. Every disease organization that has successfully brought treatments and a cure to market has these two things, and we know from other disease organizations what we need to do, right? So with these things in mind, we've centered our organizations around these two strategic initiatives. One, collective intent. We created and are building a therapeutic accelerator to eliminate the obstacles that allow for the development of treatments and a cure for FSHD globally. And as the patient advocate, we're working to enlarge and engage the FSHD patient and family communities so they are educated, empowered, and ready to volunteer for all these clinical studies and trials that you hear Dr. Statland and Peter Jones talk about. So things like this Family Day event, this is how we educate our families to become more empowered to be their own best advocate. And we've created our chapter program to give, you've heard a couple people talk about chapter program today, to give our families a local presence, but still have a global impact. We know we can't be everywhere, so our chapters serve as local hands and hearts out there in the communities. Okay, so why is this important? In addition to accelerating research, the patient community and engagement are integral to reaching the light at the end of that tunnel right there and achieving our goal to get treatments to our families by 2025. We need to build an army of activists to advocate and participate in this goal. And the FSHD Society chapter program is what we've created to keep that going and how we're going to do that. My daughter is texting me, so she's interrupting my thought process here. Oh, goodness. Launched in 2018, the goals of our chapter program are actually threefold: to ensure that our families are empowered through education, to build connectivity and support among our FSHD community like we are today, and to ensure that the program is not only self-sustaining, but contributes to our mission of finding treatments and a cure through fundraising. Mahatma Gandhi said it best, that a small group of determined spirits fired by an unquenchable faith in their mission can alter the course of human history. And that's exactly what all of our volunteer leaders that are leading our chapters are doing. All right, I love that picture right in the middle. Since we started the program in 2018, we've actually launched 28 official chapters across the country. One of them right there in Kansas City, directed by our very own beautiful Kylie Higgs. These chapters will provide our families with local hands and hearts, of course, because we cannot be everywhere. They will empower our families to be their own best caregiver through education. And they give our families somewhere to go to ensure that no one faces this disease alone. So I'd also like to introduce you to Lee Reynolds. She is your FSHD Society Regional Director. She supports all of the chapters and their directors like Kylie, all the way from Ohio to the West Coast. So she and Kylie are your local chapter resources for everything FSHD. Lee's contact information is there. Kylie's contact information is there. So if anything FSHD comes up, they are your first point of contact. All right. Great. You've seen this picture multiple times today. Dr. Statland just had it up a second ago, but we are super proud to support the important work of the Clinical Trial Research Network, the CTRN as we call it. And obviously we recently funded its expansion to 4 new sites here in the US at Stanford, at CU Denver, the University of Florida in Gainesville, Florida, and then UT Southwest in Dallas. And as Dr. Statland mentioned, the Coordination Center is right there at KU, and we can't think of a better partner than the Kansas City chapter and KU Medical Center to support this CTRN. It's really where the clinics and our active community involvement really merge, that the power of collective intent and patient advocacy really happens when we have an active local community and chapters around these CTRN sites. And so this site right here is super, super critical. Let's see. So how can you get involved and join our community of activists? This is a little picture of our website. If you visit our website, you can find all the ways to get involved and explore all the resources available to all of our families, including what's called FSHD University. You can see the logo right behind me here. It's a series of monthly webinars that we've designed to educate our families in the areas of physical health, wellness, and research. Many of the folks that you've heard today already have been or will be guest speakers on our webinars, and our YouTube channel just houses hundreds of these educational recordings. So be sure to visit the website to not only get involved with research and registries, but also to get yourself educated on what's happening. Okay, so this is just a quick snapshot of the path that we actually laid out in 2017, and we launched it in 2018. It outlines the projects that we've created to fill the potholes in the road that we're all traveling together towards treatments for FSHD, and kind of where we are to date with the progress that we've made on the plan. In 2018, we launched the Therapeutic Accelerator project, and at the same time, we launched our official chapter program. In October of 2018, as we were planning for the industry collaborative meeting that would happen in March of 2019, we were building our chapters and our national walk and roll fundraising program. And then of course, in March of 2019, we hosted the industry collaborative meeting with the FDA to identify all of the obstacles we would face in therapy development. And the CTRN, the Clinical Trial Research Network, was a key component to eliminating these obstacles identified at that meeting. In June of 2019, our International Research Congress was actually for the first time on international soil. It was over in France. And 12 countries were represented there at the World FSHD Alliance that we kind of fostered. And then by October of 2019, workshops were created to fill the potholes that we scheduled all the workshops, I should say, to fill the potholes. The whole pothole concept is kind of, it's a repetitive thing that I think most people can kind of see in their mind. It's like, okay, we've got a bridge, it's full of potholes, we got to fill them in order to get therapies to our families by 2025. So I keep using that analogy, but it gets tiresome at times, I think. But by October of 2019, we had launched 27 official chapters all over the world, or all over the country, that had raised more than $800,000 through their volunteer-led fundraising events. So every time we launch a chapter or host a walk and roll event or whatever fundraising event, we put fuel in the car that goes down this little road. 2020 hit, we had to make some adjustments, but we're still moving forward. Our workshops that we had scheduled, our Voice of the Patient Forum with the FDA, and all the chapter meetings and fundraising events moved to virtual. But we didn't let that sway us. This year, our virtual walk and roll events raised more than $520,000. Virtual, can you believe it? That's just crazy. And we know that by 2023, we have to have a potential therapy submitted to the FDA in order for us to reach our goal. We've been able to hit these targets even though we had to slow the car a little bit, or we've hit some potholes, but it won't deter us. We're still on time and on target with the path that we identified a few years back. So hopefully I'm catching us up a little bit with our time, Kylie. And we know that the only way to do this is together. We are stronger together. And I'll say it again, never doubt that a small body of determined spirits fired by an unquenchable faith in their mission can alter the course of human history. So with that, thanks everyone. Thanks for having me today, you guys. I'm so appreciative of letting us have a chance to talk about the organization and our chapter program. And I'm happy to answer any questions. Kylie's here to answer questions, or if you don't have any questions today, you can always email any of us at any time with any questions.
Thanks, Beth.
You're welcome. Did you like your little picture in the middle of the map?
Yeah. Right in the heart of the country.
Right.
Oh, so Michaela asked, how might one get a chapter started in their area?
Oh, great question. I would love to talk with you. The first step would be to contact me and to see what the interest would be in the area that you're in. And we would take it step by step and go forward from there. But the first step, of course, would just be to contact me and explore the possibilities.